take a deep breath in and let it go. Again, in and out. Feel the quiet stretch across your body, like warm fabric woven just for you. Your hands can rest now. Your shoulders loosen. Even the small muscles around your eyes begin to soften. Outside your window, imagine a slow breeze moving through fields of night silver grass. Each movement hushes the mind, each sigh of wind carrying you deeper into comfort and calm. Now, as your breathing settles and your thoughts grow gentle, our story tonight begins. It begins far away, in a valley folded between soft hills, where the air smells faintly of rain and wood smoke. There, beneath the velvet dome of a medieval sky, stands a cottage built of river stone. Its walls are rough but warm, its windows lit with the shy glow of candlelight. Inside, a young woman sits before her loom, a sturdy wooden frame that creaks with each slow pull of the shuttle. She is the weaver, and tonight, she works not for coin, but for wonder. Her fingers move with care, drawing thin strands of silver thread through linen, so pale it gleams like morning mist. The cloth will become a gown for her queen, a gown meant to shimmer like moonlight. When the royal procession passes beneath torches, the air around her hums softly with the rhythm of the loom. Crick pause, tap, a sound that matches your own breathing. Outside, the stars glimmer quietly, and through the open window you can hear the rustle of leaves, the faint call of an owl. Somewhere in that stillness, you realize that even the night is weaving threads of starlight and shadow, winding together in perfect calm. And you, listening now, are part of that weaving too. Each breath another thread, each heartbeat a gentle knot binding you deeper into peace. Let your breath drift in and out, like a tide that loves the shore. Notice how your jaw eases, how your neck lengthens, how the space behind your eyes grows quiet and cool. Inside the stone cottage, the weaver lifts her shuttle again. Crick pause, tap, the sound is tender, like footsteps on moss. Her lamp is small, but steady. Its flame rests low, painting honey-colored arcs along the loom's smooth wood. The hearth murmurs, a gentle crackle, a faint sigh, and the scent of warm ash and split oak settles like a lullaby over everything. On her lap lies a slender skein of silver. Some threads are spun from fine linen, but others gleam with a secret brightness, lighter than breath, strong as a promise. In hushed corners of the medieval world, skilled hands gathered spider silk, not to weave whole cloth too rare, too delicate, but to embroider edges, to stitch constellations along cuffs and veils, so that moonlight would catch and linger. The weaver knows this custom, a whisper passed from craftswoman to craftswoman, like a blessing meant for quiet nights. She draws a glimmering filament through the weft. The thread behaves like a sliver of dawn, and for a moment the fabric looks alive, as if a small star had decided to rest in the gown. Outside the window, the valley breathes a long, slow exhale of grass and dew. Leaves rustle with friendly secrecy, and an owl turns the night like a page. Starlight slips through the open shutters, silvering the windowsill, resting on her hands. Notice your hands too, how they soften when you imagine warmth, how your fingers loosen as if they, like threads, could be laid gently into place. The queen's gown grows by patient inches, a river of pale light with a margin of stars. The pattern is simple, repeating small points as soft symmetry that calms the eyes, steadies the heart. Creak, pause, tap. The rhythm returns, and you find yourself breathing with it, drawn into the kindly machinery of rest. Every pass of the shuttle smooths another thought. Every soft thrum combs the mind until it gleams with quiet. The weaver hums barely, a thread of melody too shy to be called a song, and yet it settles through the room like snow. Cool, clean, and peaceful. You are safe here. You are unhurried. The night has all the time in the world. Breathe in and out. Let the night cradle you. The sound of the loom continues. Creak, hush, creak, hush, like the steady heartbeat of the cottage itself. The weaver pauses to stretch her fingers. She gazes at the half-finished cloth, its silver lines glinting like frost under candlelight. She runs her fingertips over the pattern. Tiny stars, perfectly spaced, woven into gentle waves, a design known only to her and the moon. Long ago, her grandmother told her that certain weavers could slip dreams into the threads of their work. A careful knot tied with calm breath, a whisper before each new line, and peace would linger in the fabric. People believed the cloth could remember calmness and share it with whoever touched it. She doesn't know if it's true, but still, she whispers softly, weaving words with her thread, peace in the morning, gentleness in the night. You can imagine it now, her quiet breath, the whisper of silver thread through linen, the glow of the fire dimming, casting golden halos along the wall. Outside, the wind sighs through the chimney, a low and steady sound, like the ocean hidden far beyond the hills. Each gust fades into stillness again. You are there, in the warmth of her cottage, the scent of ash and wool, the cool stone beneath your feet, the comfort of repetition. Creak, hush, creak, hush. The rhythm begins to echo your heartbeat. It slows, settles, softens. You can feel the story itself beginning to weave around you, a blanket of calm, threaded with silver light and quiet intention. Your thoughts become strands now, sliding into harmony, becoming part of her creation. Outside, the stars lean closer to watch. Their reflection gleams faintly in the window's old glass, trembling with the hush of the wind. Somewhere between waking and dreaming, the loom sings on. You are drifting, you are safe, you are home. Breathe in softly, and let it out, slow as drifting smoke. You are still inside the little stone cottage, where the walls seem to hum faintly with the rhythm of her weaving. Outside, the moon has climbed higher, a silver coin pressed gently into the dark velvet of the sky. The weaver's eyes grow heavy, but her hands do not stop. They move on their own now, graceful and sure, as though guided by something older than time. The threads shimmer faintly, reflecting candlelight and starlight together, becoming one soft glow that fills the room. Her breath moves with the loom creak, hush, creak, hush, until you can no longer tell if the sound belongs to her hands or to your own heartbeat. It's said that on nights like this, when a craftsperson works past midnight, the world itself begins to listen. The wind through the shutters slows, the flames lean closer, even the air feels alive, as if the universe is waiting for the next thread to be drawn through. She closes her eyes just for a moment, and in that half-second of rest, she sees something new. The silver thread she holds seems to stretch beyond the loom, out the window, across the sky, connecting every star. It is as if the night is weaving back. Every flicker of starlight ties into her cloth, and her gown becomes a small mirror of the heavens. The weaver breathes deeply, her thoughts quiet as snow. You breathe with her. You can almost feel that silver thread passing gently through you, to a line of peace that touches your chest, your shoulders, your thoughts. It winds softly around worry, around noise, around the restless corners of the mind, and then tucks them all away. Only calm remains, only light. The candle wavers once, and settles. The room glows faintly with silver dust. You are floating now, not dreaming, not awake, just listening to the slow hum of creation itself. The night is weaving you into its own quiet tapestry. The loom slows now, creak, hush, creak, hush, until even that sound feels distant, like waves dissolving far out at sea. The weaver blinks slowly, her lashes heavy with sleep. Her hands rest on the half-finished gown, and her mind drifts between the soft lines of dream and waking. Outside, the moon watches. Its pale light slips across her floor, touching the thread, the wood, her quiet fingers. It feels almost alive, as though the moon itself is curious about what she has made. Then, without quite noticing, she finds herself no longer sitting at the loom. She is standing in a field beneath a sky woven with countless stars. Each one flickers like a spark caught in the silver fabric she'd been crafting. The air smells of warm hay and fresh rain. The ground beneath her bare feet is soft, moss, perhaps, or cloud. She doesn't question how she arrived. Dreams do not require reasons, only rhythm, only peace. She looks up, and the constellations seem closer now, so close that they whisper. The stars speak, not with words, but with feelings, gentle assurances, familiar warmth, the kind of kindness that hums in the bones. One star flickers brighter than the rest, and its light curls downward like silk. It wraps softly around her shoulders, shimmering like a shawl made of quiet thoughts. You can imagine it now, how that light would feel on your own skin, how soft and weightless it would be, how safe. The weaver closes her eyes and breathes in. The silver shawl hums faintly, a sound too delicate to name, something between wind and lullaby. It fills her chest with calm, and her heart slows to match the rhythm of the stars. She feels her grandmother's voice somewhere near, saying softly, "Every thread you spin, spins you too." And perhaps that is true, for as she dreams of stars, you dream with her, both of you wrapped in the same cloth of endless night and endless rest. The Weaver stands still, her eyes slowly adjusting to the silver glow all around her. The field stretches on forever, a landscape woven from mist and starlight. Each blade of grass seems to glimmer faintly, as if tiny threads of silk were stitched through the earth itself. The night air is soft and cool, carrying the faintest scent of lavender and rain-soaked stone. Somewhere far behind her, she hears it again, the rhythm of her loom. Creak, hush, creak, hush. But it is slower now, distant, as though the world itself were weaving. And then she sees it. Rising from the mist ahead is a shape of gentle light, a tall, graceful figure, woven entirely of silver strands. It glides closer, its form rippling like fabric caught in wind. It feels familiar, like the memory of her grandmother's touch, or the comfort of candlelight on lonely nights. The spirit does not speak, but when it lifts a hand, she understands. It is the soul of her craft, the spirit of the loom itself. The rhythm she's followed all her life, the steady pulse that soothes her mind, has taken shape before her eyes. It reaches out, and where its light touches her fingers, she feels a calm so deep it hums through her bones. Every creation, the spirit whispers inside her thoughts, is a mirror of its maker. You weave peace because peace lives within you. You weave light because you carry light. The words sink into her heart like warm water soaking through cloth. Her breath evens out. Her body loosens, her thoughts drift in soft circles of silver. She realizes that this moment, this quiet exchange between maker and craft, is what she's been weaving toward all along. Not the gown for the queen, but the stillness within the act itself. The spirit of the loom bows its head, a slow ripple of light, and fades back into the mist. She feels no sadness, only gratitude, only calm. The night sighs around her, and the stars above hum faintly, as if nodding in agreement. You feel that peace now too, a hush that travels through time, through breath, through dream. The Weaver takes a slow breath, and when she exhales, the mist before her parts like a curtain. A soft path gleams ahead, woven of the same silver thread she once spun by the hearth. Each strand hums quietly beneath her feet, warm and alive, guiding her gently home. She walks with bare steps, her toes brushing cool grass, her hands brushing starlight. The world around her is vast, but not lonely. Every sound is tender, every breeze a lullaby. Far in the distance, she can see her cottage. Its small window glows gold through the deep blue of the night. Smoke rises lazily from the chimney, curling upward like a slow, contented breath. The Weaver smiles. She doesn't hurry. Dreams, she thinks, should always be walked through slowly. As she moves, the path beneath her shifts and shimmers. Each step leaves a ripple of light that fades into soft nothing. She looks down and realizes the silver she once wove is no longer in her hands. It has become the road itself. Each thread she spun in waking life has turned into a star beneath her feet. The universe is wearing her work. Her breath catches in quiet awe. The queen's gown may dazzle by day, but this unseen tapestry of the night is hers alone. A nightbird calls from somewhere unseen, its voice long and low, echoing gently through the fields. The sound joins the rhythm of her steps, slow and even, until she feels the same stillness that filled her cottage hours before. Crick, hush, crick, hush. Even now, the echo of her loom follows her like a faithful friend, a song without end. The moon begins to lower, turning the world a shade deeper, more intimate, more hushed. You can feel it too, that drowsy pull of night that asks for surrender, for trust, for quiet rest. Her cottage grows closer. The light in the window waits patiently, steady and small, like a promise that never fades. And with every step, you too are walking home with her. The Weaver reaches the small door of her cottage. Its wooden frame glows faintly with moonlight, and the metal latch feels cool beneath her fingers. She hesitates for a moment, not out of fear, but because the air outside is so calm, so sacred, that she wants to breathe it in once more before stepping through. One deep inhale, and one soft sigh. Her shoulders lower, her heart slows. Then she opens the door. Inside, the world is just as she left it. The fire rests low in the hearth, the last embers pulsing faintly, red, then gold, then red again, a heartbeat made of light. The loom stands quietly near the window, its threads still shimmering faintly. The gown hangs across it, half complete, catching both firelight and moonlight, and in their mingling, The silver glows like living starlight. The weaver steps closer, touches the fabric, and smiles softly. It is warm beneath her hand, as though it remembers her dream. In medieval times, some believed that dreams left traces of warmth on the pillow, a glow in the air, or a whisper clinging to the walls. Perhaps this gown, too, has caught a dream within its weave. She sits down once more. Her fingers move lazily, barely guiding the shuttle now. Creak hush, creak hush. The familiar rhythm returns, but it is slower, softer, like a lullaby being played just for her. The wind outside sighs through the chimney. A single log shifts in the fire, crackling gently before settling into silence again. The scent of warmth fills the room. Wood, linen, wax, and faint lavender from the corner shelf. Her eyes grow heavy. She leans her head against the side of the loom, feeling its smooth surface beneath her cheek. For a long, quiet moment, there is no sound but breathing hers. The fires, the nights. She thinks of the path of silver light, the spirit of the loom, the stars that whispered to her in the mist. Then she closes her eyes, and the cottage fades into dream once more. The weaver's breathing deepens, soft and even. Each inhale smooth as silk, each exhale a faint sigh against the hush. The cottage settles with her. The embers glow faintly, casting orange petals of light that flicker over the walls, over the wooden table, over the silver gown now resting quietly on the loom. Outside, the world has stilled. The breeze has softened to a whisper. The trees seem to sleep too, their branches swaying slowly, as if keeping time with her breath. In her dreams, the weaver finds herself once again beneath the open sky, but this time, the stars are closer. They hang low and wide, so near she could reach out and touch them if she only dared. She does not feel small beneath them. She feels part of them, woven into their endless shimmer. One by one, the stars begin to move, not falling, not racing, just drifting, like glowing threads floating through a pool of air. They circle around her in slow spirals, and where they touch, the world brightens gently. Her gown, the half-finished one she left by the loom, is here too, floating weightless before her. The silver fabric stretches wide, rippling like water, and she sees in every thread a reflection of all the nights she ever lived through. The quiet ones, the lonely ones, the peaceful ones too. The stars settle softly into the weave, finding their place among the silver strands. They do not vanish, they become part of her creation. When she looks closer, she sees something beautiful. Each star has a pulse, a tiny heartbeat of light, a soft rhythm, steady and slow. You feel it too, that pulse, that rhythm. It matches your breathing in and out, gentle, calm, steady. And in that rhythm, you realize something. The story isn't just hers. You too are part of this fabric. Your calm, your quiet, your rest woven into the night itself. The stars dim slightly, their glow settling like dust over the horizon. The world sighs in contentment. The weaver smiles in her sleep. The weaver lies asleep in her chair. Her head rests gently against the loom. The air around her hums softly, a lullaby of warmth and wood and whispering wind. The fire has burned low now, leaving a soft red glow in the hearth, like the quiet memory of sunlight. The night holds its breath, and even the stars seem to dim their glow, as if respecting her rest. The silver gown glimmers faintly beside her. Each thread catches what little light remains, 1,000 tiny sparks, 1,000 calm thoughts frozen in silk. In her dream, she is once more surrounded by that light. The stars move slower now. Time itself begins to stretch and soften, like fabric being gently pulled, no longer bound by seconds or hours. The weaver drifts deeper, further into stillness. There are no words, no stories, just the feeling of existing. Softly, outside, the valley exhales. Fog gathers between the hills, wrapping the earth in a blanket of silver mist. A stream murmurs nearby, its trickle like the faint hum of a harp. A barn owl glides overhead, its wings slicing the air without sound. Inside, you can almost hear her breathing, steady, calm, rhythmic. Her peace becomes yours. Your chest rises and falls in the same slow pattern. Your breath a thread joining hers, weaving through space and silence. And then the silver threads of her gown begin to shimmer once more. They stretch gently outward, as if searching, reaching through the air to find every weary soul still awake. When they touch you, you feel their warmth, a quiet, patient warmth that spreads through your body. Like candlelight through glass, your shoulders loosen, your eyes grow heavy, Every sound becomes distant, like echoes inside a dream. And in that soft stillness, you realize you are no longer listening to a story. You are part of it. You are a thread in her starlit weave, a single glimmer in the fabric of the night. The stars begin to shift once more. Their movement is slow, so slow, like the drifting of feathers through deep water. Each star finds its place above her cottage, settling in soft constellations that shimmer faintly. It is as if the heavens themselves have leaned close to watch her sleep. In the silence, you can almost hear the faint music of the night. Not a melody exactly, but a pulse, a gentle vibration that hums along your bones. The weaver's dream has stretched into the sky now. Her threads, thin and glimmering, reach outward like silver bridges between worlds. One thread finds you. It wraps softly around your wrist, light as air, warm as breath. It does not pull, it simply connects. A promise of peace, woven through distance, through time. In this connection, you begin to see what she sees. The constellations shimmer and fold, revealing the shape of a great loom across the heavens. Its frame is built from moonlight, its threads of silver mist and dream. Every star, every sigh of wind, is part of the weaving. The shuttle moves slowly, gliding back and forth across the night. Creak, hush, creak, hush. Each pass pulls one more thought out of your waking mind, laying it gently to rest. The loom hums quietly, and with each hum your body grows heavier, your thoughts lighter. The air is cool, the scent of rain drifts through the valley, and everything feels whole, timeless, unbroken. In that vast starlit weaving, you catch glimpses, faces of travelers long gone, villagers asleep under candlelight, 1,000 quiet moments stitched together by history's calm hand. And among them all, you see the weaver's gentle face, her eyes closed, a small smile resting there. She is at peace. You are too. Together, you drift deeper into the tapestry of night, where stories are no longer told, only breathed. The stars have slowed their weaving now. Their glow has softened, turning from silver to pale gold, like dawn remembering its way back. High above the quiet valley, the night settles into its final shape. The constellations stop moving. The loom of light grows still. What remains is balance, a pattern of calm, woven perfectly through silence. Down below, in the cottage, the weaver stirs in her sleep. Her fingers twitch slightly, as though she still feels the thread gliding between them. The fire has gone to ash, but the warmth remains, an invisible hum in the air, a memory of comfort. Outside, the grass bends under dew. Each drop reflects a star, a tiny mirror of the heavens. A fox moves softly across the field, its steps barely pressing the earth. An owl turns its head and blinks once, content beneath the silver mist. The world is breathing slowly. You can feel that breath move through you, in and out, steady and sure. It whispers that everything, every motion, every pause has its rhythm. The weaver sighs in her dream. In her mind, the threads of light continue their patient dance. But now, instead of stars, they form waves of pure stillness, a fabric that hums with peace. She realizes, and you realize with her, that nothing more must be made tonight. The weaving is done. The world is complete. The silence itself is the final thread. You can feel it wrap around you, gentle, endless, safe. It tucks around your shoulders, pulls over your chest, slides down your legs, a perfect blanket of night. Your breath deepens once more. Your eyes feel heavy. The last glimmers of thought fade into silver fog. And there, in that hush where time no longer moves, you rest, a single thread of stillness woven into the fabric of dreams. Far beyond the hills, a line of gold begins to stretch across the sky. The stars, having finished their gentle weaving, bow out of sight one by one, their soft light fading into morning's breath. Inside the cottage, the weaver's eyelids flutter. The long night has passed without her ever noticing time at all. Her body is rested, her soul calm, as though she has slept in the arms of something kind and eternal. The first light of dawn touches the window pane, and the thin frost there glitters like 1,000 tiny diamonds. The room glows faintly pink, then pale amber, as sunlight slowly filters through the glass. She stirs, stretching her fingers. The wood beneath her palms feels warm again. She blinks, smiling faintly at the faint hum still lingering in the air. For a moment, she wonders if the dream was real. The silver fields, the spirit of the loom, the starlit path home. But when she looks toward the cloth, her breath catches softly. The gown on the loom is finished. She had left it half done, and yet now it gleams whole, perfect, each thread smooth and even, the silver pattern flowing like water frozen in moonlight. The sunlight brushes over it gently, and the gown responds with a soft shimmer, a living glow, as though stars are still sleeping inside its weave. She reaches out to touch it, and warmth spreads through her fingertips, a memory of her dream, still alive within the threads. Outside, the birds begin to sing. Their notes rise like tiny prayers, greeting the dawn. The wind stirs, rustling through the grass, carrying the scent of earth, of dew, of the first light of day. The weaver closes her eyes. A small tear slips down her cheek, not from sadness, but from quiet joy. She whispers, "Thank you," though she does not know to whom, the stars, the loom, or the night itself. The morning has come. The world is new again. The day unfolds slowly, as if reluctant to disturb the peace that lingers in the valley. Mist drifts across the fields, thick and white as wool freshly shed, and the path leading from the weaver's cottage winds like a silver ribbon between waking trees. She wraps the gown carefully in linen, her fingers trembling a little, not from fatigue, but from reverence. It feels sacred somehow, as if she is holding a piece of the night in her hands. The village below is quiet, its rooftops sparkling with frost. Chimneys release the first curls of smoke. Somewhere, a rooster calls once, and the sound echoes softly between the hills. By the time she reaches the castle gates, the sun has risen higher, bathing the old stone walls in pale gold. The guards step aside, their eyes caught by the faint shimmer escaping from the edges of her folded bundle. In the great hall, the queen sits surrounded by courtiers and light. She looks weary from sleepless nights, her crown slightly askew, her smile practiced but gentle. When the weaver kneels and unfolds her work, a hush sweeps the room like wind across grass. The gown catches the light and bends it. It does not glitter harshly, it glows, soft and alive, like water under moonlight. Each silver thread seems to move on its own, breathing in rhythm with the morning. The queen rises slowly, her hand covering her heart. She steps forward, fingers trembling as they touch the fabric. The moment her skin brushes the silk, her eyes close and her shoulders ease, the weight of rule lifting for a single, perfect heartbeat. No one else can hear it, but the weaver senses it, a faint hum deep within the gown. The same lullaby that filled her cottage the night before. Peace, woven into form. Light, captured and set free. The queen whispers, "It feels alive." The weaver bows her head and smiles softly. "It is," she says. "It dreams." For a long while no one speaks. The court stands still, servants holding their breath, nobles frozen mid-whisper. Even the great tapestries along the walls seem to quiet themselves, their colors dimming to let the gown shine. The queen looks down at it, her hands resting lightly over the silver folds. And then, something shifts. The room feels softer. The air grows warmer. The echoes in the high stone ceiling melt into silence. Every anxious thought, every trace of worry seems to dissolve beneath the gown's gentle light. No one notices at first, but even the guard's eyes begin to soften. A calm settles over the hall, deep, collective, unspoken. The weaver feels it most of all, like the hush that follows a prayer. She watches the queen smile, not the practiced smile of royalty, but the fragile, real smile of someone who has remembered what peace feels like. "I have never seen such work," the queen says quietly. "It feels as though the stars themselves wove their comfort into this cloth." The weaver bows her head. "It was only thread," she whispers, "but perhaps the night helped." The queen's laughter, soft and low, echoes like chimes through the hall. She lifts the gown fully, the silver catching sunlight and scattering it in small, dancing glimmers across the marble floor. For that moment, the entire hall feels alive, filled with warmth, filled with quiet. The queen gestures to her attendants. "Let her rest," she says. "This craft was not made by hand alone." The weaver nods, grateful, her heart still steady from the night's rhythm. She feels no pride, only a quiet joy that hums in her chest, like the memory of the loom's song. She steps outside again, into the pale morning air. The sky has softened to blue, the frost glistening on rooftops like tiny mirrors. A breeze touches her face, cool, kind, alive, and in that gentle wind, she thinks she hears the faintest whisper, as if the spirit of the loom is still close, still singing. The weaver walks back down the hill, her bare hands brushing against the folds of her cloak. The morning air tastes faintly of dew and smoke, and the world feels new, washed clean by dawn's first breath. The village below hums quietly now, carts creaking, chickens stirring, doors opening to let in light. But to her, every sound seems slower, as if the world itself is still wrapped in the calm of the gown. She passes neighbors who nod kindly. They notice something about her, not the silver dust still glinting on her sleeves, but the serenity in her eyes, as if she carries the night's stillness within her. When she reaches her cottage, the door greets her with its familiar creak. Inside, the ashes in the hearth glow faintly, a single curl of smoke drifting upward, like a sigh returning home. Her loom stands waiting, silent, patient, eternal. She runs her fingers along the frame, feeling the grooves worn smooth by years of touch. Each mark, each dent, a story, a breath, a lifetime of quiet work. The light slants through the small window, turning dust into tiny stars that float and shimmer. The air is warm, carrying the scent of old wood, wax, and something new, a hint of silver, like memory made visible. She sits once more at her stool, not to weave, but simply to listen. The silence here is different now, full, content, alive. She closes her eyes and breathes deeply. In her mind, she still sees the starlit field, the silver path, the spirit of the loom, and she knows that each of them was never separate from her. They were always here, woven into her heart, into her breath, into every thread she's ever spun. The fire crackles softly. A bird lands on the windowsill, its song clear and bright. The weaver smiles. "I understand now," she whispers. "Peace is not what I weave, it's what remains when the weaving is done." Outside, the wind sighs in answer, carrying her words through the valley like a prayer. The days that follow move gently. Spring blossoms, summer hums, and the valley glows with quiet life. The weaver continues her craft, never rushing, never chasing. Each morning begins with stillness, each evening ends with gratitude. The villagers grow to love her more deeply. They bring her herbs, fresh bread, and soft wool to spin. In return, she gifts them small pieces of silver cloth, simple squares that shimmer faintly in candlelight. The people swear these pieces bring calm to their homes, helping their children sleep more soundly. Their hearts beat more slowly. Some say the weaver's hands hold a secret blessing. Others say her loom itself is enchanted, its wood infused with starlight. But when asked, the weaver only smiles, her eyes reflecting both age and wonder. "It's not magic," she says softly. "It's remembering. The world already knows how to rest. I just remind it." As the years pass, her hair grows silver, matching the threads she once spun from moonlight. Her hands remain steady, her eyes kind. Children gather near her door on quiet evenings, drawn by the gentle hum of her loom. She tells them stories of stars and fields, of the spirit of the loom, and the queen who found peace in a gown of light. They listen wide-eyed, their small faces bathed in the glow of the fire. Sometimes they fall asleep there, heads resting on folded arms, dreaming of silver threads winding through the sky. The weaver covers them with blankets, her heart full. She hums a tune no one else remembers, the rhythm of her craft, the heartbeat of calm. Outside, the seasons keep their patient turning. Autumn leaves drift down like embers, winter snow hushes the hills, and each spring the valley wakes once more, carrying her peace forward. Her legend spreads quietly, not through fame or wealth, but through whispers, stories told before sleep, in cottages warmed by firelight. Every telling ends the same way, with silence and the soft creak of an unseen loom, working somewhere beyond the stars. Long after the weaver's hands grow still, her cottage remains a small stone shape at the edge of the forest, wrapped in ivy and quiet. The loom rests inside, untouched, yet never truly silent. When the wind passes through the valley, it hums against the shutters, and the villagers say they can hear her rhythm again. Creak, hush, creak, hush, like a heartbeat folded into the world. Mothers begin to tell her story to their children, not as a tale of magic, but as a lullaby of calm. They whisper about the woman who wove light from darkness, who found peace in the hum of wood and thread. "Listen," they say, "to the night as you fall asleep. If you're very still, you might hear her loom, and if you do, you'll know she's weaving your dreams too." The children smile sleepily, curling into their blankets. Outside, the same stars that watched the weaver still shimmer above the valley, steady, patient, kind. Over the centuries, the story drifts like mist through generations. It becomes a comfort told beside fires, a prayer whispered under quilts, a hush that calms restless hearts. In the village square, a festival takes place each year at midsummer. Lanterns are lit in silver paper, hung on strings across the fields. As the sun sets, the people sing a single, gentle melody, the one the weaver once hummed to herself. Their voices rise and fall like waves, until the entire valley glows with sound, and high above, the stars seem to shimmer in reply. For perhaps the spirit of the weaver listens, still, not in sadness, but in peace. She does not need to return. Her work is finished. Her song lives on. The night carries her legacy in every soft breeze, in every quiet moment when the world feels still enough to listen. And if you listen closely now, you might hear it too. Creak hush, the sound of peace, the sound of sleep. The valley sleeps, the stars keep their gentle watch. And somewhere beyond the years, beyond the seasons, the weaver's spirit drifts softly through threads of wind and memory. Her cottage stands, but now ivy climbs its walls like green lace. The loom, though still, glimmers faintly when moonlight passes through the window. Sometimes travelers stop outside, drawn by a strange sense of peace. They rest their hands on the old door and swear they hear a sound from within, a slow, familiar rhythm. Creak, hush, the same rhythm that once lulled a kingdom, that once carried a lonely soul into the stillness between dreams. In winter, snow drapes the roof like white velvet. In summer, wildflowers bloom in silver and pale lavender around the threshold. The air there is always soft, always calm. The villagers say, it's the place where dreams come to breathe. They leave small offerings, a candle, a spool of thread, a sprig of thyme. Nothing grand, only gentle things. When the wind stirs the leaves, it carries whispers of the weaver's song, the one that wove light into night, peace into hearts, and silence into sound. You can imagine it now, that hush of the valley, that warmth behind your eyes, that peace so vast it feels like being held. As the night deepens, the world grows lighter. The stars begin their weaving again, slow and eternal, drawing you closer into their rhythm. Creak, hush. Let the sound guide you. Let it soften the space around your thoughts. Let it tell you what she knew, that rest is holy, that quiet is enough, that you are safe. Breathe in, and let the air fill you with calm. Breathe out, and let the story fade into silver. For now, you are the dream being woven. You are the starlight in her cloth. You are home. Now, everything is quiet. The loom has gone still. The valley breathes in peace. The air moves slowly, like the tide of a dream you don't need to chase. You are lying beneath the stars, their light touching your skin as softly as silk. Every sound that once lingered in your mind has drifted away. Only calm remains. Feel the weight of your body resting against the earth. Safe, supported, held. Let your shoulders release. Your arms grow heavy. Your hands grow still. Your breathing slows. In and out, like the rhythm of her loom. Creak, hush. With every breath, you drift deeper. Every thought unravels gently, becoming silver thread, becoming part of her fabric. You are no longer outside the story now. You are within it, woven between stars and silence, resting in the folds of night. Imagine the weaver's hands again, soft, patient, aglow with memory. She smiles, her voice a whisper you can almost hear. You are safe now. You have always been safe. Her words float through the dark, wrap around your heart, and settle into stillness. Your eyelids grow heavier, your breath evens out. The edges of thought blur and soften until there is only quiet, only light. Let go now. The story is finished. The night will keep watch for you. There is nothing left to do, nothing to fix, nothing to remember. Only rest, only sleep. And in this sleep, you become part of the weaver's tapestry, a thread of calm, a shimmer of peace, a quiet that will last until morning. The stars above whisper their farewell. The wind hums her final song. The world sighs with you, content, still, whole. Sleep deeply, dream sweetly, and when you wake, may the light of her loom remain in your heart.